All right, welcome back. Some more stories. So I launched the channel, I guess, a week ago. A lot of friends check it out. A lot of family members seem to be enjoying it because stories I never told them or they didn't know, or just when you're living overseas for over 20 years, you lose contact with your friends and family, and things that happen to you every day is just a normal day for you, but for them it might find it interesting. So they seem to enjoy it. Like I said, this was just more personal to put these things all on log for me. But yeah, if you guys are enjoying it, you're enjoying it. I have got a few questions. I can't say a lot. I think there's only like 3 people that's watched my videos. But have you ever met a bad person or somebody that have you dealt with anybody that Yes, the answer is of course yes. I mean, there's a few. There's not a lot, but there's a few, because of my situation, my position. Even though the person or the talent or the whoever is usually not a bad person or not a good person, usually pain in the butt, because of who I am and what I do, they need me in a sense. Like I'm the one setting up the restaurant, or I'm the one setting up the after party, or whatever the reason being. Sorry. So they need to be nice to me. So I mean, I can tell when somebody's pretending or they're trying their hardest. But for the most part, a lot of the people I deal with are really good people. I mean, I don't care what the publicity says or what the media says about a person. I'll go into details later, but to me, Justin Bieber was amazing. And when I tell you the story of why, you'll think so too. You'll think like, wow, that's a good kid. And I mean, I'll go into that story later and stuff, but it's things like that. But yes, there are some bad people. There are some people that, and like I've mentioned before in one of my other videos, that I always try to give people a second, third time chance kind of thing, because I don't know what happened to them that day to put them in a bad mood, because I've had bad days too. So I give them the benefit of the doubt for the first couple times, but by this third time or whatever, if they're still the same person, then yeah, I can figure out that's their personality. Okay, I'm not going to say names or point fingers, because it doesn't matter. I mean, this is my job. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. So there was one actor. Yeah, he's an older actor. Yeah, I mean, I love his movies. I watch his movies all day. He's a great actor, and he comes to Japan a lot, and he does some commercials and stuff over here. But he is a difficult person. He's not a happy guy most of the times, and I mean, he likes to complain, I guess is the easy way to put it. Just nothing's good enough for him. And just by chance, we were at the Yokohama Stadium one time for a game, and I was there meeting one of my players, and he was there watching the game, and I didn't even know it. And I'd worked with him a couple times before, and after that, I kind of said I don't really want to work with him anymore, so they didn't call me. But he was there, and he came out, and I saw him. I was like, "Oh, hey," and so, and he kind of just looked at me like, "Do I know you, or who are you, or why are you talking to me?" And I was just like, "Wow, okay," but for each his own, whatever. And then some of the players' wives, because the game was almost over, they're downstairs waiting for the players to come so they can go home. They're like, "Oh my God!" And then, they were like, "Can we get a picture?" And he's like, "No pictures, no pictures." And he's trying to run outside to get in the car, and there was a official cameraman for the stadiums was there, and he took pictures. And they have all rights. They have all rights to the stadium. I mean, they can take pictures of anything in the stadium. He flipped out, told his translator to take the camera and to break it and throw the SD card away. And the translator was like, "Give me the SD card," or whatever. And he was like, "No, if you want these pictures, you got to call my producer or whatever, the newspaper guy, boss, whatever he's called, I forget. And you got to get it from him. We're an official cameraman for the stadium, so we have all rights. I'm not saying we're going to use the picture, but we can take any picture we want within the stadium." So the actor was furious, and it was starting to draw a crowd, because people were like, more players, more people were coming out, because the game was just not finishing. And so he just jumped in the car, and he's yelling at the translator, "You should have got the memory card, blah blah blah." And the translator's like, "I was trying," but the cameraman was right. He's like, "Hey, if you want this, call my I forget what it's called. I can't even think. It's a brain fart. director, producer, whatever he's called, and tell him you want the pictures, but I'm not giving you my camera or my SD card. So that's one person that I really just choose not to work with. And I want to say he's a good person, but from everything I've heard from anybody, he's one of the people that come up with just difficult to work with. There was a girl, actually, and let's see, how do I tell the story? Like I said, I won't throw anybody on the bus. So I really liked her too. She was a great actress, and I met her at a premiere, and she was asking, her friends was interested in baseball, and they were asking about baseball, things like that. And I had a baseball player with me, and she asked. She was just like, because she was doing a TV show related to baseball or something, and she was like, I heard that Japan plays to tie in baseball, and I was like, I don't really know any sport that would play to tie. Well, of course I was very polite. I was like, well, no, actually, they can tie, because in Japan, a baseball game can tie. They don't go the next day. They don't go extra. They'll go up to 12 innings, or depending on the time, because of the last train, they want to make sure everybody can get the last train home. So if you haven't scored by this time or the 12th inning, tie, which means they break the winning point half and half. So you can end the season with 37.5 wins. It's just how they do it. So I was like, no, they can tie, which is different than the States, but they don't play to tie. And she was kind of like, I don't think you understand my question or what I'm saying. I heard in Japan, they can play to tie. That's the way they play, is to tie the game. I was like, I was like, look, I'm not a baseball player. So this guy is. He's a famous baseball player, retired. Tell you what, let's ask him. And she was like, yeah. So I look at him and I say, she heard that in Japan, baseball plays to tie. And he was like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why would we play to tie? I mean, nobody wants to tie. Nobody wants to work for 3-4 hours to tie. And so he's just like, that was just stupid. He's just like, why would she even say that? That's just like ignorant. And so I turned to her and I said, he said, actually in Japan, they play to win because they, the games are long and, you want to feel that feeling, that rush of a win. And so, of course, I definitely didn't translate that one correctly. So she was just like, whatever. And she turned around. Okay, that's fine. I didn't tell her what she wanted to hear. She wasn't happy. Totally fine. So then her friends are like, well, we would love to go to a baseball game, and we love this, and we love that, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, well, next time you guys are in town, here's my card. Give me a call. I'll take you guys to a game. Maybe you can go on the field, depending on the time or what game and stuff. And, okay. So they're like, yeah, so what's this? And they're asking me questions like where to go, because I think they had the next day off. They wanted to see some sights, but they wanted to know where was good because they were looking for certain things. And the actress turns around, and she looks at me, and she's like, you're still here? You can go away now. And I was like, And then the player looked at me, and he was like, I don't speak English, but did she do what I just think she did? And I looked at him, and I was like, just leave it alone. It's okay. He's like, no, it's not okay. That is. So her friends are like, no, we're still talking to him. We're trying to figure out where to go tomorrow. And she's like, oh, okay, well, then you can stay until that's over. And I was like, you know what? Actually, I'm good. I don't need no more. And and her friends like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, no, it's fine. Because they had asked me, like, they were looking for something specific, and I knew where it was. I was like, oh, well, actually, this shop in so has it. And they're like, oh, my God. So I was bringing it up on my phone, and I was going to give them the address and everything, because it was like, they wanted something really specific. And just by chance, I had taken somebody there before, like one of the, TV people or something, like months ago. So I was like, oh, never mind, I'll walk. And they're like, no. I was like, no, I'm good. I have nothing more to say. And I walked away. And so that was, that was that. And I mean, that was the first time I met her, and maybe she was having a bad day, but I just still choose. I will never go to another party where she's at, that's for sure. Athletes, yeah, of course, there's the different personality, different characteristics. One athlete, he was difficult. I mean, a lot of people didn't like him because he was outspoken. He hated Japan. He hated everything about Japan. He didn't want to be here, which doesn't make sense. If you took the money, then you got to take the culture too. And, we were having a big group get together, and everybody's sitting down, and now the wives had just flown in from the States to getting ready, the season's getting ready to start. And a lot of athletes and a lot of celebrities and their wives are beautiful. I mean, 99.9% of them, the wives are, very beautiful, or they're very elegant, or they're very just have an aura about them. Just like you can tell there's somebody's wife that is somebody. And they're the nicest wives in the world. They're just doing what they're supporting the house and the family while the player is playing for 10, 11 months of the year. They're taking care of the house, the kids, the schooling. I mean, they're amazing. And then sometimes you get the wives where they met in high school, and they're not supermodels. They didn't meet them at the the GQ party or whatever. So anyway, and I'm sure that's a complex amongst the wives as well. Like they're married to an athlete, so they've got to be that competitive feeling. So I'm sure they're competitive in their own ways. So we're sitting down at a dinner, and this guy who nobody likes, and I'm trying to be as nice to him as possible because he's already hated, and the season hasn't started yet. It's only like 10 days in, because he just says stupid things, and he says like stupid jokes. It's extremely sarcastic. And they didn't want him to come to the dinner, but they were trying to do a big get together this year. Let's do our let's play hard, and this is everybody's family meeting. So he sits down, and I don't think his wife even came out. His wife probably didn't like him. And he keeps looking at one of the players' wives, and he was like, "You look like somebody. You remind me of somebody." And I just can't think of who, but you do. And she had bright red hair, curly red hair. And we were like, "Oh, please, he's just going to say something stupid." And as he's talking to the night, he's saying jokes that are vulgar to a sense, or sexist or whatever. And the players are just like, "Oh my God!" And you could tell the wives were also like, "Yeah, this guy is definitely not going to be, he's not somebody we're inviting to our house for dinner." And then he's like, "I got it. I know who you remind me of. Carrot Top. You look just like Carrot Top." Really? Really? You're going to tell a woman that she looks like Carrot Top? Now, I don't know if you guys know who Carrot Top is. If you're, of course, anybody that around me would know, but if you're younger watching this, Google Carrot Top. I don't care who you are, man, female, woman, child, tall, skinny. You don't want to say you look like Carrot Top. That's just not something that's a compliment. It's just the furthest from a compliment that you can get. And so she kind of just laughed, went to the bathroom and cried, and all the other wives had to go in there, and it turned into a big ordeal. It was just a mess, and that was just the beginning of the season. This guy went through the whole season just doing these stupid jokes and calling people, and it just, I don't even know what happened to him. I think he finished the season. I don't know if they sent him home early. I don't know. So yes, I do deal with difficult people. I deal with difficult situations, and it's all about how you handle it and how you take it. I mean, you kind of gotta bite your tongue a lot, of course, because this guy might be the coolest guy in the world. This guy might be the biggest dick in the world. This guy is just, everybody hates him, and this guy, he's like, "Hey, could you please be my friend? I'll pay you." But they grew up together. They went to school together. They were in the same movie together. They performed together. So they're close friends. I mean, even though he's a dick, this guy knows it, but they're still friends because maybe he loaned him money to when he first started or something. I don't know the stories, but they're friends. So if you don't treat this person with respect and bite your tongue and try to deal with him the best you can, then he'll spread rumors. So it gets to this guy, and this guy never wants to touch you because this guy said something. Or this guy says you're the best guy in the world, and so for him, you've got to respect. You can do the thumb game all day, but you got to figure it out. I mean, you don't know who knows each other. They play together, they work together, they're in movies together, they're on screen together. Now, they can hate each other. That's between them. But my job relies on me being, neutral. It relies on me being the guy. You can talk to me about anything. We can go anywhere. We can do anything. I get you whatever you want. I'll make it happen. Just tell me what you need. But I'm neutral. And over the years, I could have made a lot of money off of stories, like these stories exactly. I mean, there were certain people I was around. Things happen. I know the true story. I know what happened to him. I know why the band broke up. I know he's got a perfect image, but I know how he really parties. Things like that. But because I don't leak any information, I don't say names. I don't. They said I've changed a lot of these stories to end the same, but the details are different. And I don't say any names or anything like that. And they know that, so it's word of mouth gets around. Like, hey, if you go to Japan, hit up Bachi. He'll take care of you. Yeah, but can I trust him? Trust me, you can trust him. I mean, there's so many things like these guys confide in me when they're here. We're out drinking at a club. I mean, I don't drink. I'm drinking Red Bull. They're drinking whiskey, tequila, vodka, everything that under the sun. They get drunk and they start, but like, look, this is it. My wife did this. My, you know, my son is this. And they tell me, and you know, and later on I'll tell you, like for example, hanging out with One Direction, the great guys, and me and Zane got close when he was here, and you know, he's amazing. Like mentally, he is on another level. Like how his brain works. And you know, you hear these things, and of course, after we talked, you know, the security or whoever is like, please don't repeat anything, you know, because Zane loves animals. He's just a huge animal lover, and he wanted to do this big, huge charity thing for, you know, to save animals like the rhino and stuff like that. And this is just things you don't expect to hear from these people, but it's also things that people would pay you to know, kind of thing. And like I said, I'm changing details of the story, but he's just a great guy. And you know, we sat there and talked for a long time, but I'll tell that in another story, you know. So anyway, that is that. Yes, there are difficult people to work with. Yes, it's difficult times, frustration. Yes, but for me to do what I do, I have to keep my mouth shut. And I'm sure some of these videos people are going to be concerned about that what I'm leaking information. But like I said, I'm not trying my hardest not to say anything incriminating to me, them, or anybody else around them. So yes, there are difficult people, but you take the good with the bad. And I've got good enough that I can tolerate pretty much anybody. And if I can't, I just don't work with them anymore. I cut the string quick. So that's that. And hope you enjoyed. I think we're long video, so I'll talk to you in a little bit.